I do not want to make this video. I really don't want to make this video, but no one else is making this video, and that really angers me. I need to talk about the importance of National Park Service, of NPS, of NFS, of BLM. Let's go. Okay, welcome back, everyone. It is good to see you all. As I said, I don't want to make this video. I think that YouTubers, outdoor YouTubers with much larger followings should be making this video, and almost no one is talking about this. I need to talk about the importance of National Park Service, National Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, national seashores, state parks and state preserves, wilderness areas. All of these are vitally important, and all of these right now are under attack. I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what you can do or attempt to do. I don't know that it's going to help, but it isn't going to hurt in terms of reaching out and making your representatives know that you as a constituent find those things important. In February, I did a similar video talking about the NOAA and the importance of the NOAA. I know from people that work there that the NOAA is being dismantled. Next year at this time, I doubt we will have a National Weather Service, which is vitally important. If you want to see that video, I'll put it up there. Okay, so National Park Service, National Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, state parks, state preserves are used by millions, tens of millions of people every year. And they're coming under attack. Their budgets are being cut. They're not being allowed to hire staff. Staff were fired, staff were rehired, staff were let go again. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm getting a lot of emails and comments from people as I was just at National Seashore wondering what it was like, if there was staff there. There was when I was at Assateague recently. However, it was still technically off season, so they wouldn't have had summer staff working. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why these are important and why we need to be reaching out to our representatives to make sure that they know that these are important. The first you'll say, or you might hear people say, is that it's to protect the budget. Where we overspend in this country on the national budget, and we're in debt. The National Park Service has a budget of 3.6 in 2023, which is when we have numbers for a budget of $3.6 billion. They turned a profit. They earned $55 billion that goes back to the Park Service and the federal budget. And so the National Park Service is not operating at a loss. So we're not dealing with a situation where it's costing us money to have these things. National Forest Service is their job is managing that resource. And so your argument might be, well, we're just increasing how much we harvest from the national forests. I will tell you that the National Forest Service job is making forests available to loggers. That is the bulk of what they do. They build, if you've read Bill Bryson's book, A Walk in the Woods, which is a great read, he talks about really what the National Forest Service does is they make roads. And they make roads so that people who lease forests for logging can get to the areas that they have leased. You might say, well, we're just sort of increasing that. Except that these forests have been carefully managed for a century, and opening 59% of them up for logging is not careful management. So I am fine with logging. I have no problem with logging. Uncontrolled, let's just cut down 59% of what we've got left is not appropriate management. I think that those are important things and things that we should be aware of. So I just wanted to make that clear. The other sort of part 2 of this is I want to talk a little bit about outdoor recreation. Outdoor recreation in the United States accounts for $1.2 trillion of income in 2023 and provides 5 million jobs. It's the 3rd highest industry in terms of income in this country, behind banking and healthcare. A lot of people earn their living in the outdoors, and they use National Park Service land, National Forest Service land, BLM land, national seashores, all of that stuff, as well as state parks and state preserves. All of those are used by outdoor rec. We need to protect those jobs and that income. It is a huge influx of income to local and state economies. And if we don't have places to take people to go kayaking, I was on National Seashore when I'm in the Outer Banks. I'm in National Seashore when I'm at Cape Lookout. I'm in National Seashore when I'm at Assateague. We need to protect those so that that business can continue. And it's 5 million jobs. For comparison, every time there's a presidential election, lots of people talk about the coal industry, how important it is to protect those coal industry jobs. 50,000 people, give or take, work in the coal industry versus 5 million. And I'll sort of just add, the outdoor rec industry does not do a good job of lobbying for itself like, say, the oil industry does. The oil industry sends people to Washington and talks with lawmakers about protecting resources and protecting the oil industry and things like that. We don't really do that, which is bad. We need to be doing that. That needs to happen. But we need to protect those jobs. We need to protect that income for lots of people. The third reason is these are our lands. If you live in the United States and you pay taxes, these are our lands. And if those lands are given away for mineral rights, they're going to be leased out for pennies per acre. Billions of dollars will be made as those places are destroyed to get the resources. And you and I will not get that money. The federal government won't even get that money. It will be the people that make those leases and do the mineral extraction will get billions of dollars. That's not fair because we've been paying for these lands forever. So that's 3 very good, very simple reasons why these are important. Okay, so what can you do? The first thing that you can do is talk to people that you adventure in the outdoors so that they know what's going on. And all of us need to be reaching out to our representatives to say, hey, these lands are important. We need to protect these lands. They belong to us, and I am a constituent. You can do that using an app called 5 Calls. This is an app you download, you put in where you live, it tells you who your representatives are. And if you're making phone calls in regards to specific legislation, it will list that legislation, and then it'll even give you a script as to what to say when you get on the phone with someone. Emails don't work anymore because they just throw them out, but phone calls are supposed to be logged. Please call your representatives. Additionally, I am calling out and challenging other big outdoor YouTubers to be sending out this message as well. My Life Outdoors did something this week that I thought was starting, but it didn't really get to the point. He talked a lot about the importance of our national forests, but didn't talk about what we should be doing. He's got a very large following, and I would love to see more of that from him. Dan Becker is not talking about this at all. I think he seems like a great guy. I don't really know him. We've had a few interactions. He's done a lot of videos about the outreach that gear manufacturers make in terms of making the world a better place. But I would really love it if he could be talking about this stuff as well. If you know a YouTuber or have contact with a YouTuber who is doing stuff in the outdoors, this stuff affects our livelihood, and they need to be talking about it, and you need to be talking about it. I don't really want to be talking about this, as I said at the beginning, but I think it's important. I think it needs to be said. I really don't feel like, as someone with only 8,000 subscribers, I have that much reach where it's going to make that much of a difference. The other YouTubers that I've just mentioned, as well as many others, have a much bigger reach and should be doing the same thing. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not seeing that. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm sorry I have to talk about this stuff. I hope it's the last time I have to talk about this stuff, but I don't know. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. This is important to me, really to all of us, and I can't believe that I have to talk about it. I will see you outside, assuming there are places for us to go outside.